Hello, YouTube subscribers. Today or tonight, whenever you're watching this, I am doing another Disney movie review. And today's Disney movie review is on another live action Disney remake. Big shocker. Another Disney remake. But in live action. Uh, Nothing better to do. Disney can't figure out how to come up with new good shit. Uh, Except hiding behind Pixar, which Disney is making Pixar drown as well with Pixar's last project not even doing well. Um so Pixar is hoping on their newest project, and so is Disney, called Echo, a little boy who gets freaking called aliens to basically take him away, and so he can go hang out with them because he doesn't feel like he belongs on Earth. But anyway, today, if you saw my last video, you guys would know I went to see the new uh Lilo and Stitch, the live action remake. Um, but Also, if you guys couldn't tell by the title of this video, honestly, mm, as the beginning, I will say for the my only negative, I would say, is basically this that basically that you knew the movie knew itself it was a remake. It was it knew itself. It wasn't really its own type thing. But so with you knowing the film knew itself that it was a remake and not really a original or anything, I felt like it had a very fast pace in the beginning. It didn't really take its time. It kind of had a few new scenes, like it automatically jumped right into which so did the original, that of the aliens, showing the aliens and the court scene with Stitch and the mad scientist, Jumba, uh, and how that was kind of scene by scene by scene replay, um, with a few new things added, just a little here and there, but still kind of felt like it had, along with the original scenes from the original movie, but it felt like it was going quick, by a quick pace, which was kind of good, but also kind of bad, because it's like you wanted to enjoy those moments when you really couldn't enjoy those moments, because it was like a right in there, right then and there, and now it's gone. Right there and then, now it's gone. So after that, basically, there was a lot of scenes still from the original movie that was in this one, which wasn't too bad. It was actually pretty good how they still brought in the original scenes from the original movie. Some scenes from the original movie while adding new scenes. Like, I like how Stitch still saw on the TV a black and white movie of the tarantula, uh, as big as Godzilla, destroying the town, and Stitch going all hog wild, clapping, be like, ha ha ha. So, I still like that. and instead of them redoing the scene where he's in Lilo's room and he rebuilds San Francisco, and then destroys Lilo and Stitch is on a beach, and Stitch pops out of the ground because he hops in the ground a few times and dig like a mole, because Lilo tries to get him into the water while they're at the beach, and he pops up and he sees all these little sandcastles, and then he starts destroying them like Godzilla. Uh, so that to me, I found that funny. I found that enjoyable. It was like a same scene by scene, but a little different. Uh, does it have and then what I also felt like they kind of shorten and not really take their time on showing very much is the the sister and sister scenes. Like in the first movie, I felt like in the original it had much more scenes with Lilo and Nani, and I felt like with this they had a few like there was a big like a little bit big chunks of the beginning of Lilo and Nani, but then and also like a big long extra scenes that we got to see of Lilo before she heads to dancing class, um and had that big huge fight with one of the other girls in her hula class, that you find out later after that in this she actually gets kicked out, that she cannot return, um unlike the cartoon that basically the teacher still allowed her to be in the classroom still after the fight, that the both of the little girls had. But I still loved what we got though. What we got, I still felt like what we were able to see with the newest stuff along with the old scenes. The old stuff with the new stuff, the new scenes with the old scenes. I felt like it was really good for what we got, for what we were able to be given. Um, do the aliens look really good with the CGI and stuff? Yeah. I felt like Disney really took their time and not rushed it and basically gave us a really good CGI alien, a few aliens that like Stitch. Honestly, I thought in the trailers he was only gonna be good looking in the trailers. When no, in the movie he also looked really good. After scene after scene after scene, he looked really good. Uh, Along with Jamba and Pleakley and the head general, that sent Jabba and Pleakley to capture Stitch and bring him back. Um, Now they did change a lot of things. Did Nani really end up with the guy? Sort of. Like you could still tell they set up that got the guy that loves Nani duo, and he really wants to be with their kind of awkward scenes here and there, but they don't really they don't she that's still in there, and Nani still likes the dude to a certain point, but what it shows more of is basically and that basically it shows a little bit more they added one extra character to kind of help Nani a little bit with Lilo. It wasn't Nani's idea to go pick out a dog, to allow Lilo to go pick out a dog. It was more of the, even though, which I felt like that was a good change, that basically, even though Nani, they still had Nani hear Lilo made a wish, that basically the one extra character they added, that Nani, and Lilo likes to be around with and consider as, Mohana, basically took a day, always watched Lilo while Nani was looking for, was at work, and she allowed Lilo to go pick out, to go look at the dogs, and and yeah, the 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 it was kind of different. We had a action scene with Stitch, a little bit more longer action scene with Stitch, versus Jamba. Um, that then that's when we had kinda a new slash old scene mixing together, where Lilo meets Stitch and Stitch meets Lilo. Um, and we had a little bit more of Lilo being more of a child, goofing around with Stitch, and where she's kind of being a little demon along with Stitch, being having two monsters, and just goofing around like children. Um, so, well, eventually Stitch does a really bad thing and messes up something where it does make Nani, lose her job, and then, and even though they changed the caseworker to, from, uh Cobra Bubbles, from not for not I do like them changing the caseworker from them not having Cobra Bubbles being the caseworker, but so, just a worker that, they quoted, that does actually work in the, uh, um the 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 case worker area, which the actress that plays the caseworker is actually the original voice actress that voiced Nani in the original film, which I really liked that. My mom liked that. My sister liked it. Um, we and then how they still brought in Cobra Bubbles was still a FBI agent. What was more the side villain instead of the main villain, like I was hearing, that basically he was hunting down Stitch, and, because the FBI heard the aliens crashed on Earth. So, well, the same kind of process that basically Pleakley and Jamba heads down the earth, heads down to Earth to hunt down Stitch. Which that, they kind of had a new, they had extra scenes, and same scenes here and there, just a little bit, um, but not much. Like with their newest scene, with their new extra scenes, it took away of what the original movie gave us. So it's like they took away most of the, well, but, um, another thing I heard that fans didn't like is that they didn't allow Pleakley take a theme, to be a drag queen, which I did like in the beginning, of the movie, because in the beginning of the movie, Blakely was dressed up like a cowboy, and he was explaining to the general that basically, oh, I'm the Earth expert, and I've been experiencing, where he doesn't just explain that, oh, it's the ones from bug, the mosquito or something like that. He was studying, but he was studying everything, like humans were into, humans themselves and stuff. So, um, which they still bring out the original joke of why they can't blow up Earth, which, that mosquitoes were going extinct. Uh, which I found that kind of funny. Cobra Bubble, they didn't really add in at the end that Cobra Bubbles knew the alien general, and the alien general doesn't say, "You look familiar." They totally took out that scene. They kind of lowered down Cobra Bubble scenes a little bit. Like, they didn't give him too much scenes, but they kind of like threw him in. Um, like this, like what they did with some of the characters when they added, it's like they kind of took away a few scenes from original characters. But they still added some of the old characters, and but give them new scenes, just less of the spotlight, and gave it more to Lilo, more 50% of the movie, Lilo and Stitch, and instead of them doing the ugly duckling type area of the story with Stitch, they kind of still do it, but not where he finds the book of the ugly duckling, and learn through that a family, but he watches Nani and Lilo, how they are with each other, and he slowly sees that through them, of him not really having a family, and wanting to be belonged to someone and somewhere, and slowly becoming good, from his evil side. I did like the bond. What I did like the bonding of what we still got to see in the live action remake of between Lilo and Nani. What we had with them, of the bonding, what we got, I still felt like it was good enough to know that that it is a learning process. You still knew it was a learning process, that basically this is something to pay attention to, even though we're not giving you enough scenes like we did in the original cartoon, but it's still a learning process. Um, I know also another thing original fans were not mad about, but something my sister said that after watching the movie, that she felt like it didn't really needed him. She even said, if you actually go back in the original cartoon, which when I did, yeah, it, I honestly, if in the original cartoon, if they made Jamba the main villain, instead of uh I can't, gone to, or the big alien or dolphin shark type villain, Gantu, and instead of making Gantu the villain of the first movie, it would have been better, I personally felt like, after even watching the live action, that to make Jamba the main villain, because that's exactly what they did, and my sister didn't mind it at all. Honestly, she said it felt a little bit better that basically they made Jamba the villain. That basically he wasn't just a mad scientist sent there to capture his experiment, and then all suddenly turned good. Um, which honestly, I still love the original cartoon, uh, but there's just something about the live action, a little bit more of the live action that I just love and actually like a little bit more over the original cartoon. Uh, uh, but um, but I still love both the way they are. But I just felt like with the live action remake, it just does something a little bit more than the cartoon does. That makes me like it more than the cartoon. Um, now, um, I like how they still kept Stitch the way he is, and I'm glad they didn't I'm glad they didn't accidentally do a ugly Sonic type thing with Stitch. But I like how his storyline, even though it was still close to the original cartoon, I still liked it because you could see how more Stitch was still coming in trying to figure himself out, while you see Lilo in this one trying to fight Nani to keep Stitch around, because Lilo thought he would be good for both of them instead of Nani. Because in the live action, Nani wanted to get rid of him the next day, and when Lilo said it was okay, but figure out a way to keep him a few more extra days, and Nani was like, the, where where Stitch accidentally hit her with the fridge door, a freezer door, basically, where Lilo was like, he's um uh Moana, I mean he's Ohana, he's family, and Nani was like, he hasn't been here that long, and this and this and this. So they kinda still did in the original, but in this one, it was more of a automatically she wanted Stitch out of their lives. But it was more of Lilo keeping her Stitch around, um, and trying to take care of Stitch the best way she could. Um, um, so I personally, I do like some of the action, some of the storyline. Do I like how in the beginning it felt a bit rushed? Not really. I felt like it could have still took its time to enjoy, to allow it to breathe, instead of trying to get into the main actual story that we still knew that was coming from the original movie, and allow that to breathe instead of the beginning. So I was like, nah. But once it got to those parts, I was like, okay, I'm good now. Um, I did like the action. I did like the comedy. I felt like the comedy was perfectly evened out. I did like the graphics. Um, even though I felt like most of the space scenes looked a bit off, but hey, that's to me that was still okay. So um um uh so and and for them to do another one, I'm totally okay with. I can see them doing another one, especially how good this can do, and I can see Disney be like, "Oh, look, this remake finally did good out of all our remakes. Let's keep doing the remakes idea." So, um, alongside sequels for the live action stage. But I personally felt like this live action remake was really good. I loved it for what it was, truly. But if you saw the live action remake, drop in the comments down below. What did you guys think? What did you like about it? What didn't you guys like about it? Oh, also, what I did like about the movie is the opening where they showed the Disney castle, because to me, I felt like that was the whole surrounding of what kind of made me felt like if you saw the original and saw the way that was, you felt like that was kind of the same feeling, but it had a new, like it was mixing old with new, like how it had the new style graphic of the castle, but the way they kind of like put out the name Disney, um, it was basically the same way as you would see the original movie, like someone's writing it out, and then it did the whole circle thing over the castle. Um, but yeah, just if you guys seen it, what did you guys like about it? What didn't you guys like about it? Um, um, hit that like button if you liked this video. Hit that dislike button if you didn't like this video. And whatever you guys didn't like about this video, just drop in the comments down below what I could do to change for future videos. Please hit that subscribe button if you haven't hit that subscribe button yet, because I welcome all new and old subscribers with open arms, and I like to keep giving you guys more content. If you're heading your way, if you guys really like seeing my videos. So, have a nice day, have a nice night, whenever you're watching us. Peace.